Further courtesies, Representative Bonham.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It is my great honor, having been a season ticket holder of the Portland Thorns since 2013, to welcome to the Capitol 3 members, if you would please rise so we can relatively embarrass you. Midfielder number 30, Celeste Boureille. She's a Bay Area kid, and she was a member of the 2017 team that won the league and a member of the 2018 team that won the championship. Defender number 4, Emily Menges, drafted by the Thorns in 2014. This last year, she was second team All-League, co-defender of the year, and you will all appreciate this, she was the community MVP. Finally, defender number 2, Catherine Reynolds. We'll just say from the Pacific Northwest. Is that okay? Okay. Pacific Northwest. In 2018, Catherine played in her 100th match. She's only the 15th player in league history to play in that many matches. Now, what would you want to have happen on that 100th match? Score a goal, and she did. Please extend courtesies and welcome these wonderful ladies to the Capitol.
Thank you, Representative. Welcome to the Thorns. Good to have you here. Further courtesies, Representative Noble.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, the Oregon Society of Anesthesiologists are at the Capitol today in the gallery, and I'd like to take a moment to welcome them. Not everyone knows that anesthesiologists are actually real doctors who have completed medical school as well as 4 to 6 years in residency. These docs play a critical role before, during, and after surgical procedures, and their extensive training enables them to react calmly and swiftly when unexpected things happen during surgery. I've had the unique chance to see anesthesiologists in action during an operating room tour, which is something I hope the rest of you will experience as well. Additionally, you may not know that physician anesthesiologists are recognized leaders uniquely suited to prevent opioid abuse and misuse by employing opioid minimizing techniques while ensuring patients have access to appropriate pain treatments. Anyone who's successfully woken up after surgery, and I hope all of you have, or have enjoyed some pain relief, I would encourage you to take a moment to understand the critical role that any anesthesiologists play, and I hope you will join me in welcoming them to the Capitol today. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Representative. Welcome to the anesthesiologists. We are special orders of business. Clerk will read the resolution.
House Concurrent Resolution 27, commending Portland Thorns Football Club for its achievements.
Question now arises upon final reading and consideration of HCR 27. Representative Peluso.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. For the record, my name is Carla Peluso, and I proudly represent House District 50, the great city of Gresham. I was one of the first women to play soccer on the Portland Park's rec turf thanks to Title IX. The year was 1977, and there were only 4 women teams. We female soccer fans have come a long way since then, and we have brought many men along with us. There is nothing better than watching the razzle-dazzle play of the Thorns. I have been a loyal Thorn fan since the beginning, as you'll notice if you visit my office. The Thorns are not only a pleasure to watch, but they are hugely successful. They won the National Women's Championship Soccer League 2016 Shield Award as the team with the best regular season record. They led the NWSL in game attendance and are the most well-attended women's professional sports team in the world. The Thorns are loyally supported by their fans. We call them and honor them as the Rose City Riveters. The dedicated and talented soccer players are also active community members, donating many hours of service. Few women's sports teams receive the recognition that they deserve, the Thorns included. However, this team has achieved incredible success and support in its first 6 years. I am proud to be a fan and proud to be chief sponsor of the House Current Resolution 27. Oregon is lucky to have the Thorns, and Oregon is better because of the Thorns. I ask and support your commending the Thorns. You make Oregon proud.
Thank you, Representative. Co-carrier, Representative Smith-Warner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Colleagues, I am happy to join in support of HCR 27 today, a resolution to recognize Portland's women's soccer team, the Thorns. As a mom, an amateur athlete, and a feminist, Portland Thorns offer an inspiring and welcoming sports experience for people of all identities and backgrounds. Too often, women's professional sports teams and athletes are not as celebrated as their male counterparts and are rarely compensated equally. This resolution is an attempt to rectify these inequalities and take a public and symbolic step in support of these powerful women's soccer players. Then there is the very real wage gap in professional sports. Female international players will only earn about 38% of what their male equivalents take home for representing their country in the same amount of games in every calendar year. And frankly, the U.S. women's team has consistently achieved superior results as compared to their male counterparts on the U.S. national men's team. Here in Oregon, I am proud that we've brought a focus on pay equity for all who work here. I'm fully supportive of the efforts of these women soccer players to receive equal compensation for their equal work. As individuals, the players of the Portland Thorns are both role models and outstanding athletes. As an entire team, they help create a joyous, passionate community that brings the state together and boosts the local economy. I hope you'll join me in supporting HCR 27 to take an important symbolic step in support of these powerful women soccer players. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Further discussion, Representative Power.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
To the resolution.
To the resolution. Colleagues, as a longtime fan of the Portland Thorns, I am so excited to voice my support for HCR 27. I grew up watching the U.S. women's team as I played soccer as a kid too, and the fact that we have such world-class athletes right here at home is really an honor and a privilege for the state of Oregon. My wife and I are season ticket holders, and the Portland Thorns Football Club is the first team we've ever held season tickets to. We go because they're a huge part of our LGBTQIA community here in Oregon, and as we've found within the last couple years, they are incredibly supportive of new parents as well. After I had Grady, we were a little uncertain about how it would go coming to major matches with a 2-month-old. We were well equipped with the baby headphones, which he still hates. But from the moment we walked in, an attendant came up and found us, told us where the nursing room was for new parents, told us where we could easily get water if Grady got too hot, and where we could find AC. It has been just an integral part of our summer ever since. It is his favorite thing to do, full stop. And I know so many of our staff and our colleagues in this building attend games whenever possible as well. We are so fortunate to have some of the best talent in the world right here in Oregon. Watching my son cheer on these players, especially as he gets older and I want him to grow up to be a feminist, and recognize that women athletes deserve as much pay and respect as male athletes, is something that I'm proud to instill in him as a value as a parent. I could not be more excited to help support this resolution to recognize the achievements of the Portland Thorns. I urge an aye vote, and as my son would say, go Thorns.
Thank you, Representative. Further discussion, Representative Williamson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. To the resolution.
To the resolution.
As you know, Madam Speaker, Providence Park is the home of the Thorns, and it's in House District 36. What you may not know is that across the league, the attendance average is 6,000. The Thorns bring in 16,000 fans when they play. And what you also might not know is that when they're away, you can watch games with their pub partners. So you should get online and find out whether or not you have a pub partner in your district where you can watch the Thorns game. I urge an aye vote.
Thank you, Representative. Further discussion. Seeing none, Representative Peluso, would you like to close?
I would, Madam Speaker. Whereas the Portland Thorns Football Club was established in 2012, and whereas in 2013, the Portland Thorns Football Club defeated the Western New York Flash to win the National Women's Soccer League NWSL championship in the league's inaugural season, and whereas the Portland Thorns FC won the 2016 NWSL Shield as the team with the best record during the regular season, and whereas in 2017 the Portland Thorns defeated the North Carolina Courage to win their second NWSL championship, and whereas the Portland Thorns Football Club became the first team in NWSL history to appear in 3 league finals with their 2018 NWSL Championship appearance before a sold-out and record-setting crowd of 21,144 at Providence Park in Portland on September 22nd, 2018. And whereas the Portland Thorns Football Club are strongly supported by local communities and have led the NWSL in attendance in each of the club's first 6 seasons, in the process becoming the most well-attended women's professional sports team in the world. And whereas the Rose City Riveters, who chant and sing with gusto in the legacy of the north end of Providence Park at every Portland Thorns Football Club home match, are widely regarded as the preeminent supporter group for women's professional soccer anywhere in the world. And whereas supporters of the Portland Thorns Football Club find unity and purpose in the social media hashtag by any other name, which reflects the history of the Rose City Riveters, salute the City of Portland, and pledges undying support for the club and its players. And whereas Portland Thorns Football Club and its players are embodied standards of athletic success, creating a family-friendly and energizing environment for fans. And whereas the Portland Thorns Football Club and its players have committed countless hours to the community through work with nonprofit organizations as part of the club's community platform, Stand Together. And whereas the Portland Thorns Football Club fosters a team culture of integrity, high character, and grit that sets a sterling example for young players, and therefore, be it resolved by the Legislative Assembly of the State of Oregon that we, the members of the 18th Legislative Assembly, commend the Portland Thorns Football Club organization and players for their achievements and performances on and off the field over 6 professional seasons that have established the club as a model of women's professional sports teams worldwide. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Representative. Those of the opinion that HCR 27 should be adopted will vote aye. Those opposed, no. The clerk will open the voting system. On behalf of the Oregon House, thank you to the Portland Thorns, and glad to have some players representing here today. HCR 27, having received the constitutional majorities, declared adopted. Propositions and motions.